Welcome to SBS News in Easy English. Australia's medicines regulator, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, has approved a new COVID-19 vaccine called Novavax for use on those aged 18 years and over. It's recommended for use as the first and second dose, administered 3 weeks apart. Approval is still needed from the government's vaccine expert panel to determine who the vaccine will be made available to. Professor John Skerritt from the Therapeutic Goods Administration says the trial data for Novavax was examined very closely.
The clinical trial data for Novavax was quite impressive. 2 separate large clinical trials which have been published internationally showing over 90% efficacy against symptomatic infection. No strong signals of adverse events, but again, as we do for every COVID vaccine, we have a large team of people focusing on potential adverse events and whether, for example, the prescribing advice needs to be changed.
The first shipment of Novavax vaccines is expected to arrive in Australia in the coming month, after an order was placed in January 2021, conditional on regulatory approval. The Therapeutic Goods Administration has also approved the use of 2 oral pills to treat COVID-19 that can be taken at home. The pills are Paxlovid, made by the drug company Pfizer, and Molnupiravir, made by pharmaceutical company Merck. The treatments will be for use in adults with COVID-19 who do not require additional oxygen but are at risk of hospitalisation or death from the virus. Health Minister Greg Hunt says the treatments have been effective in people with mild to moderate COVID-19 who have a high risk of progressing to severe disease. Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews says a further 166 million rapid antigen tests have been ordered to distribute to government employers for their staff. The low supply of the tests, which are sourced from overseas, has contributed to staff shortages around the country. Mr Andrews says the state government is moving quickly to improve access to the tests to ensure workplace safety.
You're going to see us continuing to order for a long time, and we're also working on whether we can manufacture and boost some of the local manufacturing that's already occurring. We're very deeply engaged with a couple of different companies, and we'll have hopefully some very exciting news about that soon as well.
Queensland's health officials are urging people not to call ambulance services unless absolutely necessary. It comes as numerous people have been contacting ambulance services with the hopes of acquiring a rapid antigen test. The state's health minister, Yvette Darth, says this is not a service that paramedics can provide.
I know that it is scary to hear that you've got COVID, but if the symptoms you've got in any other situation other than COVID is attached to those symptoms, if you would not have called 000 because of those symptoms, then you shouldn't now.
Phone communication has been restored in Tonga, allowing residents to get in touch with family overseas following the devastation from an undersea volcanic eruption and tsunami. Internet connection will take several weeks to restore after an underwater cable was damaged. The delivery of crucial supplies from New Zealand and Australia is being hampered by volcanic ash, which has covered parts of the country, including the airport. Prime Minister Scott Morrison spoke with his counterpart COC Savallini on Wednesday afternoon, conveying his sadness over the loss of life and damage. He said Australia's priority is delivering aid in a COVID-safe way. To sport, German number 3 seed Alexander Zverev is concerned that more tennis players at the Australian Open might have COVID-19, but that it might go undetected because they weren't tested. His comments come after defeating Australian John Millman on Wednesday night at Melbourne Park.
I think quite a few players had it when they arrived. Quite a few players, I think, have it now. We are not getting tested, so I think if we would get tested, there would be probably more positives than there are now, in a way.
This is SBS News in Easy English. Thanks for joining us. I'm Biwa Kwan.